Will the ceasefire and hostage release deal on the table actually go through? Last Friday, U.S. President Joe Biden presented the world with a detailed three-phase proposal that he says will lead to the release of the remaining hostages in Gaza and finally put an end to the Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. government claims Israel is on board and that it's now up to Hamas to agree to the deal. But it appears that internal Israeli politics are threatening a meltdown of ongoing talks. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he's working to gather support for the deal, but not everybody in his government is on board, particularly his far-right-wing partners.
This
is an irresponsible deal. It's a deal that means we will see the end of the war without actually achieving the goal that the war cabinet has set, the total destruction of Hamas.
It's a dangerous proposal, the one that President Biden announced over the weekend. A deal given to him by the war cabinet without the authority to do so, and against the law. It is not binding for the Israeli government and the state of Israel.
Far-right-wing ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich have been threatening to leave the coalition if the deal goes through. But despite their protests, it appears that the deal has enough support to be passed by the government. The government's ultra-Orthodox parties, Shas and United Torah Judaism, have announced that they strongly support the hostage release agreement, insisting on the Jewish importance of redeeming the captives. The head of the opposition, Knesset member Yair Lapid, says his party, Yesh Atid, is willing to do whatever it takes to get the deal approved.
I would like to mention my proposal to give Netanyahu a political safety net to carry out the deal. Our hostages should come home. It cannot be that ministers Ben-Gvir and Smotrich will prevent their return home. They are dying there and their time is limited.
Meanwhile, War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz has also shown his support for the deal, along with what appears to be the majority of the members of Netanyahu's very own Likud party. The question now is if the majority of the government supports the ceasefire and hostage release agreement, will it actually go through? It's ultimately going to come down to the Israeli prime minister and the political risks he's willing to take. Because if his far-right ministers Smotrich and Ben-Gvir truly do pull out of the government over this deal, Israel is headed back to elections.